Salutations everyone, I am the Goldflower Reviewer and welcome back to a new stream, GoldFlowerRecreation 3. Yeah, we're just gonna do this every Saturday, I guess. New stream, new time to do some bullshit, I guess. Let me advertise a stream per usual, because it's not a GoldFlowerRecreation if we don't advertise a stream on both channels. I think today I'm gonna start with Mario vs. J. Let's lock in. Gotta do it for both channels, because you know how things are. Alright, well, we are, I guess. So, alright, I suppose we just start with whatever. I actually was going to react to a few videos today. I don't really know what videos I'm gonna react. Oh yeah, no, I was. Never mind. Hold on. I was gonna react to the new, what's it called? The new spooked video. I think he made a video on SML Talks, I believe. Something like that. I think I had it in my history because I know I watched it. I watched it for the sole purpose of reacting, or just to put it on my history so I don't forget to watch it. Spooky and CG reviews. The most disingenuous SML critic, SML Talks. I reacted to an SML Talks video. That was my first reaction, actually. Was SML Talks. So, well, not my first reaction, rather my first reaction of the new GoldFlower reactions, I should say, because I did do a video on SML Theory, I believe, which was the first actual one, and even before that I did one too, one of the, I think it was the part 3 of SML Summer School, the new one, but that never came out. It's still unlisted though. It's because the audio was shit. It was my first time trying to reaction, so I guess it's time to lock in. Mr. Spooky. Actually, let me make sure my volume's up. Seems about right.
What's up?
Alright. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, no. My volume is muted. I believe. Turn that shit up. About 45, I believe.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Major Spooked back for another video. I didn't think I'd ever talk about SML Talks again, but he's gotten way worse and released another awful members only.
No, okay, I ain't gonna lie. Spooky did make a few videos on SML Talks before this. I was gonna react to them, but I don't care about SML Talks enough to spend my time on watching his videos. I get the general thing of like, oh, he hates his fans, I guess. But currently, I've watched like 4 SML Talks videos in my entire life, and I think all of his points that I've seen are okay. Like, they're not horrible. For example, like, they're not the worst things I've ever heard. I feel like the way, I think I haven't seen any of the examples of he hates his fans, so I guess we're gonna cover that in this video. But the only problem I've seen with SML Talks is the fact that he delivers his points very bluntly without giving like any room for interpretation. Like, if he says something stupid, he's gonna say it with his chest, and that's cool, I guess. But I could see how it could make some people believe he's just an asshole. Now, I guarantee you, there's more reasons for why people don't like him. As I'm sure we're gonna explain in this video, or at least cover. But yeah, let's continue.
Response video, which we'll get into later. Plus, none of the videos I've seen about him have covered the points I want to cover in this one, so I figured I'd make my own. But if you somehow don't know, SML Talks is a guy I haven't spoken about in a few months. He has an incredibly rabid fan base, probably because all the kids who watch his videos think it's okay to lie about and be extremely rude to people because he does it. His fans are almost comparable to the Jeffy fans who he hates so much, the way they attack anybody who disagrees with him. He's rude.
Now that's crazy. When he says Jeffy fans, does he mean like the prime 2017 Jeffy fans? Because if so, missed me with all that. That's like next levels of toxicity. That is probably prime 2017 SML fan base is like in the Mount Rushmore of most toxic fan bases I've ever seen.
To those same fans for simply disagreeing with his opinions, calling them and morons. He's also slandered more of his critics in the past, some of which he was previously on good terms with. Now that you're caught up with the gist of the things he does and has done in the past, let's get into the new drama, which I'd say is a lot worse than all of that since he has done a lot of bad stuff since the last time I spoke about him.
The rapist. Whoa!
This is probably one of the worst things SML Talks has ever done before, with a content creator called Drip Chicken. Drip Chicken is a smaller content creator. His channel actually got taken down by a rabid SML Talks fan twice, and recently SML Talks and him got into an argument in the comments section. Drip Chicken wanted to have a voice call debate with SML Talks, so he was asking for SML Talks Discord server, but SML Talks kept refusing to give it to him, and Drip Chicken called him a coward for this. If it had just ended here, nobody would have cared. It might have actually been beneficial for SML Talks, in fact, since it seemed like Drip Chicken just randomly started attacking him to the untrained eye. But then SML Talks made the decision to let the rage baiting from this literal kid get to him. He said that Drip Chicken would be a future rapist, which
Whoa,
is...
what the fuck? Yo, well, hold on, no, what are these... Hold on, what the hell am I even, like, watching? Like... Bro, this is what I'm saying, bro. SML beef be getting heated for zero reason.
Yikes. SML Talks has a weird history of saying stuff like this, but this was way too far. SML Talks has a mostly child fan base, and calling Drip Chicken a rapist was a potentially life-ruining accusation that his child fan base would absolutely not fact-check. Also, they're children, they don't need to be exposed to that. SML Talks was prepared to unleash this just because Drip Chicken wouldn't stop asking him for his Discord server. But aside from calling people rapists for almost nothing, he also made an absolutely abysmal response video to his critics, or as he calls them, haters. So let's get into that next.
No, I ain't gonna lie. When people call SML critics haters, that's a whole thing that pisses me off. Because, like, even with someone like SML Talks, or I guess... Like, the biggest examples of mugs calling SML critics haters is, like, post-2017 Problems WH Dude, SML Talks, Ray Rants, but that's for a completely different reason. And I think the Math Dominus, even, surprisingly. And I think the reason why is primarily just because people don't understand how to differentiate hating from criticism. Like, I feel like you can hate WH Dude for other shit, but in terms of pure content, I don't really see how W Dapper Child, welcome to the stream. Besides this man joined at the worst possible time. I'm talking about WH Dude now. Besides what's that fucking called? The allegations in terms of just content. I think Dub was honestly overhated, because I feel like most of his points were valid. This might be glazed because I grew up watching him, but and if someone in the stream wants to disagree, I mean, shit, come on, you get in the chat. I'm watching it right now, but I think I remember a time your Dub IRL. Shit, is that why you're a child? But no, I think what's it called? Like 2017 Problems, for example. That was like the very first time that I seen, at least, that Dub was getting like unjust hate. And I feel like in hindsight, 2017 Problems isn't even that crazy, especially now that we know what happened after. Right? WHU could be pretty annoying, but he was pretty entertaining. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Dub's voice, I don't really particularly like Dub's voice. I know that's one of his main criticisms. But like, I feel like what he was saying was great. I don't think there was a time that I like. Again, like I've said previously, you can hate Dub for the allegations. That's fine. But just content wise, I don't think he said anything that was like super duper critical or like bordering on hating, because when you look at all of Dub's points, he's had, first of all, most of the time, from to my knowledge at least, he had concrete evidence or pretty good estimates of what was going to happen. And keep in mind, there are like 3 examples I could point to where Dub predicted something and he was damn near spot on. Like, Muggs overreacting over the Kappa shit, Dub was right, nothing really changed. Jeffy would have killed the channel, he did 3 fucking times. And the puppets were gonna be pretty much just phased in and everyone was gonna have to be forced to get used to them. Now that one's a little easier to predict because, I mean, cease and desist happened, but I think that was even before the cease and desist when he said that. But I don't know. By the way, Dapper, the reason why I'm talking about all this is because Spooky over here was saying that SML Talks called all of his critics haters. So I guess let's lock in. Yeah, I was about to say that Dub had a lot of spot on predictions. Yeah, he did though. He did. That's the problem. I could make a video on Dub. Really don't want to because I don't really know how to format that without doing it in this style. But again, I think even besides the main channel, let's just be straight dead ass. Without Dub, the fan base is cooked because he runs SML Reuploaded. Like, I'm not saying that if SML Reuploaded didn't exist, there wouldn't be anyone who would step up. I know Math Dominus reuploaded a couple videos during the grace period Logan gave everybody to be like, oh yeah, channel's getting deleted soon. Right? Like, that was cool. But I think, honestly, you can hate WH due to the person, but WH due to the content creator and the figure in the SML community, I'd say has done way more good than harm. And I think that's just genuinely objective. I miss Dub. At least his content.
Now, before we begin this section, I want to reiterate, this section is entirely fair use. Any little bit I use in this is entirely to help me illustrate my point and nothing else. Read my copyright disclaimer at the intro for further notice. Alright, I had to say that because this is paid content we're going to be looking at.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, nah. Wait, watch SML Talks appear and just try and smite this man's channel down.
And yes, it is paid content. This guy once again lied about his critics without us being able to fact check unless we...
I said Scott for buying the membership once again. I'ma keep it a bean. W Goldflower reviews take. I don't have bad takes. That's why they call me Gold. I've never lost.
Paid him. But let's go through and dismantle this point by point.
Hey there, welcome back to another video where I rant about stupid people. The main question...
Alright, let me turn my volume up before I even get into this shit, because SML Talks for some reason talks very quietly.
63, the number that will kill you and me.
I don't know why I always like auto put my shit on 63.
I get asked by my haters is, why do you still watch SML if you don't enjoy it? When we should be asking Logan why he doesn't try with SML anymore.
Based take. Based take. Again, I think the way he delivered it was ass, but I think that's a pretty base take. Again, I've said this before, the don't like it, don't watch argument is one of the dumbest shits I've ever heard. Like, legitimately one of the most brain-dead arguments that has ever been conceived by a thinking individual. Because the whole argument of don't like it, don't watch is essentially, if you don't like the content, don't watch the shit. And on surface, that makes sense, but if you start thinking about it just a little bit... 63 over 67. Oh yeah, no, for real. 63's been my, like, I don't know, 63's been like my curse number for real, but I don't know why I keep putting that shit on my computer volume, auto 63. We need to make 63 the new 67, except we don't chant it everywhere. Also, side note, I'll get back to my previous point, but I'm fucking glad that 67 is almost in the damn grave at this point. I made a prediction that we're not bringing that shit into the Grand 2-6, and so far, 2 months in, we're doing pretty good. I've seen very little 6-7 jokes. That shit killed last year. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Don't like it, don't watch. Don't like it, don't watch is a bad argument because you're essentially dismissing the faults of the creator by saying that if you continue to watch it and dislike it, you're just hating it. And it's like, brother, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's another thing that WH2 got told a lot of times is don't like it, don't watch. And it's like, to a certain extent, if it's like ruining your fucking life, sure. And that's where it's just a plush video also comes in, which is another stupid ass argument. But for the most part, I think don't like it, don't watch is like damn near never justified, because I've seen people in comment sections comment like, oh, why is this video lazy on like a newer SML video? And there's like 3 replies. Don't like it, don't watch. Shut your ass up. And that's the thing, the whole point of the reviewing community was to help Logan improve, not to kill himself. Like, another I told you about, I don't have bad takes, brother. I don't have them.
No, because that's actually a valid question. If you really do hate SML so much and claim good videos are 1 in a million with Logan, then why exactly are you trying so hard to pump out these daily videos?
Okay, that's a different thing. I don't think this is horrible. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that take, Spooky. I think, overall, the goal should be having Logan improve. Now, from what I've seen, I haven't, oh, the man uses, like, the same fucking thumbnails. Lazy ass. Excuse me, but, I watched his, what's it, 2026 Save SML at the very beginning of the year. And his points in that video were pretty good.
He either really doesn't want to admit that he's being overly childish and cartoonishly angry over SML, or he's dodging because he's not actually that mad and his rage is a divisive strategy to get more views.
Because
both are kind of crack, but again, I've said this before. I don't hate reviewers that get angry. I hate when reviewers act like the content's gonna like ruin the fuck out of their day. Because it's just a plush video, for example, is another brain dead argument that I hate. But unlike don't like it, don't watch, it has some justifiable usage, such as if the content's legitimately like making you hate life, stop watching that shit. You know, and ironically, I feel like that's the prime old SML reviewing community noticed that very early on, because when you really think about it, people like Rev and Flamey, they left when the content stopped being good. Like when it started like to legitimately not enjoy like even viewing SML, because there's a difference between casually viewing SML and reviewing it as a reviewer. If you're casually watching that shit and you still don't like it, that's when it's just a plush video, or I guess don't like it, don't watch are justified. If you're a reviewer, that's a different thing, because Dub said a little while ago that casually watching an SML video and watching it with the mindset of, oh, I have to review this later, are 2 wildly different interpretations. And that's whenever I get like a little stressed out when I'm reviewing, because I only review for like 2-3 months out of the fucking year. I usually just take a break, casually watch that shit, or just don't watch it at all.
Logan's the one with the massive fan base and still makes so many constant mistakes. Why is the critic being criticized for talking about an obvious bad performance?
You know, it's really interesting, SML Talks, that you're the only modern SML critic who seems to get this kind of vitriol. I can't seem to imagine why, though, but...
Run that back.
Modern SML critic who seems to get this kind of vitriol. I can't seem to imagine why, though, but...
What the fuck? What's that? Hold on, let me lock...
obvious...
I didn't actually peep what he said earlier. Hold on. The fuck, brother?
And still makes so many constant mistakes. Why is the critic being criticized for talking about an obvious bad performance?
You know, it's really interesting, SML Talks, that you're the only modern SML critic who seems to get this kind of vitriol.
Broken Guy's Lego problem. Is this an inside joke I don't know, or is this like some bullshit that Logan did in spite of SML Talk? Because again, not trying to be like, oh, SML Talks is in the right, because I don't know a lot about the situation, but I feel like SML Talks objectively hasn't said much wrong here.
I can't seem to imagine why, though. But in all seriousness, it's very funny how he acts like any other SML critic gets this level of hate. I've never once received hate on a modern SML review of mine. Maybe because I'm not constantly yelling, insulting the creator, and calling out everyone in the comments section who dares to have a different opinion than...
Now, again, like I said in my first stream, for GoldFlowerRecreation, the first, I usually put on a persona whenever I'm doing reviews, which is very rare now because I mostly just stream and react. And even sometimes when I'm doing that, I still put on a persona. But I usually get my true thoughts out there in a more entertaining fashion. I don't go over the top because I understand that at a certain point, the message gets lost.
Me because they don't explain in depth why they could possibly like a video that I don't. You do that. That's all you, bud.
If it was the other way around and Logan was reviewing my videos and calling them bad, then you would all be glazing him because of his past.
No, we wouldn't.
Matter of fact, hell no. Bro, Logan be getting more hate than anybody, right? Like, Logan would be getting, like, no hate to Logan, of course, but I feel like if Logan was doing what you're doing, he would probably get canceled off the damn internet for cyberbullying.
Logan would be just as much of an unlikable if you two flip positions. Besides, the people he's calling out usually are the so-called Jeffy fanboys who only like Jeffy and thus modern episodes.
Now, though, them people do be pissing me off too, but I say silent about most of that shit.
I thought it was the SML elitists who glaze Logan for everything pre-Jeffy era. Just
What? Lock in?
I thought it was the so-called Jeffy fanboys who two flip positions. Besides, the people he's calling out usually are the so-called Jeffy fanboys who only like Jeffy and thus modern episodes. I thought it was the SML elitists who glaze Logan for everything pre-Jeffy era. Just admit that you're being bad faith to make us seem like we're bashing you for not liking modern SML.
Hold on, wait, is he saying that the fucking like the old fans, for example, are like glazing Logan? Hell no. If that's, I don't know if that's what he's saying, but if it is, that's the other way around, brother. Us old fans hate this man. Us old fans have so much bad blood with Logan, it's actually insane.
When in reality, we couldn't really care less about how you feel about a video. We don't like modern SML either. We just don't get to the point of literally screaming about it.
But to answer your question onto why I still watch SML, I watch SML because of how good I know it can be. Like I said, Peak SML is the best YouTube channel of all time.
Sure, we'll go with that. Again, not necessarily incorrect. That's kind of why I watch it too.
And nothing tops it, and it means a lot to me. Why is it such a sin that I want to see change, especially when I am spitting facts?
Then you should exclusively watch the Peak SML era. Besides, every SML critic should know that Logan...
Alright, calling me Unk is crazy, my brother. Calling me Unk is absolutely diabolical.
Never watches our videos. Besides, maybe MCR. He doesn't care that much, and he doesn't put too much...
Lock in.
Watch the Peak SML era. Besides...
I am spitting facts.
Then you should exclusively watch the Peak SML era. Besides, every SML critic should know that Logan never watches our videos. Besides, maybe MCR. He doesn't care that much.
Well, SML sins mentioned. SML sins exists. I honestly, like, I know it's kind of like, oh, of course, everything has to have a Cinema Sins type shit, but I never really heard of this SML Sins character. Although, actually, speaking of MCR, very funny, actually. MCR commented on my, first Spooky reaction, when I reacted to his top 10 worst SML videos, which is a great video, by the way. And then I first stream, Spooky was in here and he was talking about how he had a collab with MCR, and it turned out to be the Creepypasta Iceberg video. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched this Creepypasta Iceberg series. If I should do that on stream, sure, but I think that's just like over an hour, so I don't know about all that. I don't know, I got time. Also, I'm gonna keep it a bean. Actually, matter of fact, let me I think I should do this just off of prerequisite. I'm not even using that word, right? I'm actually making a fool of myself. I do got this Discord server that I was planning on using for in case like anyone from chat wanted to like talk to me in the stream. And I think that would be cool. So I guess Dapper, since you're the only one who's in here, if you're interested, I guess, tell me if I should put the link in there.
and he doesn't put too much thought into his videos anymore, which is why I make my videos for the fans who want to know if a video is worth watching before they decide to dedicate the time to it, not for Logan, because I know he's not going to watch it, and if he does, he's likely not going to care. One video from the good old Spooky isn't going to make him reconsider his content strategy.
The famous question I ask to silence my haters is, what have I said wrong? What have I actually said wrong about my review? Give me something specific instead of just insulting me like a child. And they never can answer the question because they know what I say is factual. Their main problem is that I just watch it in the first place, which, like, why do you care so much about my life? That's one. And two, deep down, you know I'm right because I explain all of my points with logic. So why not be on the same side as me?
I will explain exactly what you do wrong. You get overly angry at videos which have simply done nothing but make jokes you don't like. I will admit, in the past...
I'm not even gonna attempt to, I'm not even gonna pretend to say I'm locking in, because I'm actually not. I'm doing something right now. That's kind of shitty of me leaving the video unattended like that. Let me actually finish what I'm doing before I lock back in. Alright, let me get back to stream. Because I had to text somebody for a minute. Lock in. BetW Discord server. Alright, let me put the link in the... I guess it'd just be easier if I put the link in chat and description, I guess. Coming home is crazy. Alright. Yeah, let me just save this shit. I guess. Have my invite link never expire. And save that. I'm actually... Why am I micromanaging like I'm a big streamer? Copy link. Put that in somewhere. Yeah. Post not paying. Yeah, you damn right I'm not paying attention. I'm preoccupied, I guess. I'm just gonna put it into... shit, do I want to put it in the description? What harm could it bring, I guess? Alright. Yeah, Dapper, it should be in the description now if you refresh and if you want to join that. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
In the first place, which, like, why do you care so much about my life? That's one. And two, deep down, you know I'm right because I explain all of my points with logic. So why not be on the same side as me?
I will explain exactly what you do wrong. You get overly angry at videos which have simply done nothing but make jokes you don't like. I will admit, in the past, friends of mine who have gotten into contact with you really just went into the insult game until you...
Who the hell is CK Rant? I don't know these people. I don't know these people, sir.
You blocked them. But you gotta admit as well, this is after you had refused to give their videos the time of day, where they go in depth on why they aren't a fan of your content. It's really easy to paint the other side as evil when you literally don't know any of their talking points or opinions.
That is very factual, and that's also why I think Dapper, this man's speaking to himself like he's Fawful, bro.
Fawful is sitting on the cozy couch, sipping tea that laughs at you.
I need to put Fawful in more of the plush videos. Although again, like I said, his speech patterns piss me off sometimes.
What kind of delightful treasures have sniffed by Fawful's glorious chortly nose?
And all you have is strawman fallacies of what you think the other person on the other side is like. This goes for any argument as well, not just this one. Learn your foe's side so you can effectively argue against it. I'm talking to you, SML Talks.
Right? SML isn't just a puppet channel because we have seen how good SML can be.
Now let's be dead ass. Again, not a bad take, but again, I think he's saying it wrong. SML is peak, and it is glorious at its best. But let's not sit here and act like that shit is not just a puppet channel. Again, this is why It's Just a Plush video has some contextual usage.
If SML was replaced by someone else making the videos instead of Logan, then fair enough, right? But guys, Wakey Wakey, it's the same guy making the videos, the same guy that made the Apartment Era, and everything else that was peak about SML.
You think the Apartment Era is peak SML?